Welcome, guys. 2nd of November. Finally, monthly open we had yesterday, and it's still kind of finding its way. Weirdly, because it's weekend, so we might see some not really dead price action, but slow price action, I might say. I'm still aiming for some volatility that come in with the weekly open. Let's see how that's gonna play out. There are some key points and key levels that I'm looking at, especially on Bitcoin. We are aiming to start to break anything below us. Still didn't. We retesting it right now. So coming below 109, closing anything below that, we might find ourselves to go quite close to 108 or maybe even lower to the swing level that we still holding. This whole price action is still kind of up rising and uptrending. Still, we're gonna break out of it on the higher time frame. That's gonna be around 111. Yeah, 111.8. That's the daily. So let's see. There's not much coming in yet on the bit side. Maybe if I go a little bit lower, yeah, 200-ish bits, 200. Yeah, we used to have like 2K, 109 ish to hold the price or move it a little bit. So let's see how the end of the day is gonna be. Always freaking volatile when the week's ending. So be aware of that. On the bit side, still have the wall below us. So if we're gonna plunder into it, then that might hold us. Let's see how deep we can go. I mean, I'm still kind of aiming we're gonna reach 100K just because I'm seriously want to close that whole wick and create a structure over here and then continue. But we always we can continue that without it. Even if we start to come back higher up into the resistance, still that's the resistance because we've been breaking the low on the 4 hours. So we are aiming against the resistance. So if we start to reclaim all of that over here, we might see some continuation in the range and then break out into the 120K. That's going to be quite interesting. Let's see how we're going to play out through the week. There is some events coming in, so that's going to be quite volatile. It's going to be a little bit more volatile than last week. So let's see. Shorts are coming in right now, so we might even aim to go a little bit more higher up. So obvious, right? So, heat map, yes, we are stacking liquidity to above us till 120, so that start to get a little bit juicier, but as well, we are close to 108 and below us as well. So grabbing that as a bounce, yes, obviously we could locally, a little bit more higher up if that start to load because lately it had some issues. Still, the biggest liquidity is above the 1016. That's the daily range that we are still in, and that's the resistance that we are aim reclaim. Right below us, 105. That's if we start to get into that, we're gonna break definitely because every single thing been tested to the left side, and we might reach a little bit deeper. But let's see how that's gonna be playing out. Overall, still think we are middling on the other side. Yeah, bit. Yeah, bit more below, but could be a continuation. But if not, we start to reclaim and go higher up. That's still fine. This on the side, bit so I can keep an eye on it while I'm higher. Yeah, and let's see. Got to change anything. I've been mentioning VIX before the Friday close, I guess. I don't remember what time it was exactly. Anyhow, it looks like it wants to go higher, and we still reclaiming the previous high on that one. Yes, I'm on a daily, but if you zoom in on the 4 hour, or then you see that we are starting to reclaim. This was the resistance. We went a little bit lower, so let's see how the weekly is gonna open up. Still, if we're gonna open up above 18 or around the 18 level over here, that's the daily swing that we failed from. That said, the volatility is gonna come in and we might see some rise into this area over here. But eventually it's gonna say as well, doing that, the market's gonna do some push to the downside, or we might even see some small dumps coming in. But that said, that's only happened when we reach those area. We still can do something like over here for like ages. We can arrange and then small volatility movements in pieces, right? This doesn't say much just because I need the daily open or the weekly open to be accurate, and that's going to be tomorrow in the morning. So still to that moment, we don't know how much volatility is coming in. We just can assume, right? But looking overall on the chart, it looks like we might kind of something like this, right? And continue and then see maybe if we're gonna do that. I'm not really key on the wave master on it, but if it shows like we are already bottom out and we start to turn around, that might be as well. Let's see. I'm not really considering wave master, least with the wicks. So Dixie, things that we don't want to see is going higher and we reclaim our previous swing. That's on the daily. Yeah, the 99 that I've been aiming for. We reclaim that and we're getting into the resistance right now of the $100. So that said, we seriously need to fail from it right now and retrace, do something like this for a market to go a little bit more higher up against the 120 or whatever on Bitcoin. If not, we start to really phase into that and reclaim that, we might see some potential down movement. So let's see how that's going to play out. But so far, we're still going higher on the right. There is no need even to talk about any potential movement to the downside. Yes, we have some small pullback, but still, if we don't lose any 99.5-ish area, we're still going higher up. Yeah, Wave Master is already overheated. That's true, but we still could continue. Would be cool if we're gonna come back to 98 and break that. That would be really cool. Then that's so we're gonna break out as well from the range on the Bitcoin. Most of the markets as well, most of the coins are gonna do some potential movements. But so far, we are still aiming to go higher in this resistance. So I'm really interested in how that's gonna continue today and tomorrow, especially tomorrow. Market open. Monday is always volatile. That's gonna be quite heavy tomorrow as well. And yeah, this stuff as well. Overall market, we still technically we didn't do nothing. We are still aiming to go lower, and eventually, if we start to break right now, I was saying we need to break this level already to go lower, but we didn't close anything below. But unfortunately, we went all the way down with the wick. What does that mean? It's been already tested. That level doesn't matter anymore. Right now, you need to focus even closer, and that's 987. If you try to break anything over here, we start to slide down. So be aware of that. Be careful. Right? This doesn't matter anymore. Those two levels, technically. I still keep that level over here, but technically those levels are no matter. Those swings, because we've been already testing them quite heavily. So yeah, and then potentially to regain the highs, we need to regain the 109 trillion. So still, there is a lot of movement need to happen for that to. And price wise, we need still quite a lot of money to come into the market to regain that. So, X a little bit more quietly, didn't regain much, but we start to turn around. If we don't lose the 3.9, that would be cool. You hold that because I'm kind of a little bit in a long position on that one. Manually and my bots as well start to switch on it. So yeah, I would like to do something like this. This kind of range would be quite good for the market overall. Let's see. It's gonna take some ages to do some potential price. Just FYI, still in the position. I took the profit already twice. I took the one on the 111. I took it over here when we start to reverse already. So let's see if that's gonna continue higher up. Then fine. I'm gonna close 80% of the position at 1014, and the rest I'm gonna run and see if we're gonna have another failure. But so far, that's all on the really matter about that. Potential for not really. I don't think we're gonna have a CME gap. He's still in the same place constantly figuring. Maybe it's gonna be a small one, really small one. So we instant gonna close. But it's not gonna be that massive like we had last week. Definitely not. And of course, dominance. We are still aiming to go higher on it. So obviously, I think we all know what that means. But to have a small reminder, right? Two things, or technically three things, can happen if the dominance go higher. So that means this positioning. Then what can happen with Bitcoin if Bitcoin starts to rise as well? We gonna have something like this maybe, right? We really want dominance to go and do something like this below and go lower, than expected, and Bitcoin definitely need to go higher, and then the alts start to pop. That's what you want. Us perfect scenario. If not, Bitcoin can go a little bit more sideways, stable, and a little bit more dead price action for a week, and then we might see some small moves on. Those are the only things. Eventually, we don't have it right now because dominance is still rising, and Bitcoin is doing some sideways move, and alt's gonna feel it as well, right? Why? You see that as well on the chart. We still going higher and closing right now. The dominance on the daily, that's gonna create a new high. You're still in a continuation to go higher, right? We might do something like this for a couple things, but still, it is potential to go higher up. That's it. Volume, we are back in this freaking range again. So still we're not gonna break out from it and keep it above it. Then we're gonna do the same move over and over, or maybe we're gonna keep being in the same price. So overall, that's a little bit the point of view I'm having right now for Monday. Not really, I mean, excited, yeah, volatility, what's coming in. I'm really aiming for that to see how big effects gonna have the November Open, especially with the new weekly Open right now. So that could potentially send us a little bit more higher if there is potential for it. But overall, we are starting to get overheated on the oscillators, and even on the capital flow index, we are starting to retrace from the high that we've been on the large caps. Right? You clearly zoom in on that a little bit. So if you have your split in the stable, large, Bitcoins and altcoins, altcoins are still aiming to go a little bit more higher, but potentially we can bounce from it. And large caps breaking down, going lower. And then if we start to go lower than the neutral line, the zero line, that means we're gonna find some potential new lows on it, right? And right now we are flipping from the alts, from the shitcoins, and bit from the alts, large caps, we're going into the stable coins, right? Obviously. That start to flip. So potential what I'm looking at, large caps coming over here. And of course, alts piling in with the shitcoins and then following up with the large caps, right? So that's technically what I'm looking at. So far, we are still aiming to go a little bit more lower. And of course, this gives you as well a point of view where the price going, if the money is going out of the on chain or not. Already we start to liquidity as well. Like we below us, we are aiming to stack a little bit more thicker than above us. Yeah, it's been 2, 3, 4 ish. We have a little bit more below. We start to see that the shorts or sellers start to get in the control. So let's see if they're gonna push the price lower. Still possible coming back into the 107 and bounce from that, right? So that's the swing that you don't want to lose. And look how exactly they pile the 150 X's above that level to grab them and then go higher up. Perfect, right? But if we start to break, then eventually we're gonna get in this thicker area over here, 100 around the 100K. And of course, this still is above us, right? Like people saying this is like really, really appealing and thick, like only 2 levels, but in between are not that appealing. Like if you zoom in, right? Well, okay, fair enough. And we're still fighting the point of control for our, like I've been saying, this is the whole control the volume. So the price is quite stick to it right now. Try to go lower, then we start to get into the low volume, and the same thing on the high time of this. Like we're gonna get into that, we're gonna skyrocket into the 122, 123 area. That's quite obvious, right? So yeah, moving on from the whole week, we're gonna have some numbers coming in as well. So that means be aware of the volatility that's facing us next week. That's gonna be PMI numbers, not that much. Job opening might do something. Another service PMI, and then eventually the 7th. That's gonna be the week after. Oh, that's the end of the next week on Friday. So before the market close, we're gonna see quite a lot of volatility coming in on the payrolls, unemployment, and quite a lot of rates coming in. So let's see how that's gonna play out. That's gonna be quite interesting for sure. Right, be aware of that. But that's gonna be said as well. And then what do we have on our lovely capital flow index? So let's focus on the market wise right now. I've been mentioning it as well, trying to mentioning. Follow the white line. That's the VIX. This has been the top of the VIX, and we kind of reached to the bottom one area over here. So coming close to the 60%, we start to see potential of movement in the reversal positions, or we're gonna continue and go lower. Then we had a nice pump up over here, right? And we still can continue doing that. So eventually what you had over here, you get from the high, you get to the lows, and now you get into the middle line, neutral, right? Potentially right now, yes, this is the continuation move. Still, we're not gonna go lower, right? Same as a chart. It works same as a chart. This is the important level, this is the important level, and this is the important level. This means continuation or break. This means continuation to the downside or reverse, right? So I hope this is quite clear and obvious right now. So that's what I've been mentioning, that volatility coming in, and that doesn't need to say we need to dump 20K in one candle, but still potential to move on the market lower, significant that wicks are regaining this low and starting to phase to go higher. And as you see, right, VIX is going to the neutral line, and the market, those four, right, those four are going from this area there, right? Obviously, that we moving lower, right? And then SPX, I'd move to the upside, right? And we start to break, still holding it, and Dixie's skyrocketing, right? So obviously, if you see this potentially flip, that's why I said this is the overview of my whole market. How does it behave, and where do you need to focus? Like which direction we might aim. It all depending what those three are doing. If we start to do with Dixie, SPX, and VIX start to go over here, all three of them, then the obvious point of view is that the market's going to go there, right? This is the flip. This is going to flip-flop constantly. If you go back, you can even back test that, right? VIX, white line, all the way over here. Market, color lines, all over here, right? And they're going to always be in reversal of each other, right? Obviously. So I think that's quite clear. That's as well give me quite idea what the market might do, and is there any continuation or potential reversal on it, right? And you see as well over here quite nicely the top, most of the coins, and right now we're squeezing to go lower, right? I hope this is clear. Ovi, I've been explaining this for quite a while. I have like a different video on it as well, so please by all means go and watch it if you need a deep recognition of this, how to implement this into your strategy. This is how you look. Like looking only on this picture right now in front of you, you see how does it move, right? That it's going like that, right? You can see the opposite sides well from it, right? And then this is gonna move lower, whatever. Hope this is quite clear. If you play around with it, you will understand it. Like make your own market like index, whatever you want to call it, with the market positioning, and then see the correlation of it. And then on top of that, re-enter a new one, capital flow index, add your bags, and see how they react to that. That's it. Easy as that. Now, moving on. Do some small DA. Normally, I'm not really sticking with the monthly, but just because we have the monthly close 2 days ago, yesterday. Yeah, it was quite, you can say, shitty monthly close, but however you want to say, we retraced all of it. And the only thing what gives you that monthly close is the reversal of cash flow. Reversal of cash flow gives you potential money that's going out of the market. That means taking profits or whatever they're doing, but the money is going out of the market. Every single time we had that so far, and twice right now, we had some potential to go down, right? So this was the sign that we're going even into the bear market. cycle ago. Over here, reversal bullish. That was the sign that we're going into the bear market. So let's see how this is going to play out, right? We don't have that much history on the wave master just because it's a new indicator. So far, yeah, I'm still potentially aiming to go higher. But of course, we could go like this, reverse, and then close anything below again, right? This could go even forever. We can do this pattern for like fucking year, right, on Bitcoin. And closing every single thing below, and then dump on, right? This could go forever. But yeah, let's see. Weekly close, still. Same weekly close, what we're gonna have last week. Last week was a little bit more bullish. This week is gonna be more bearish, look-alike of it. But we still need to regain the weekly right now in next 6 hours and 40 minutes above the 114 to potentially regain your previous high, right? I can stretch it and say like, okay, 145. You can do that, but if we're gonna do the move on in 6 hours, regain, close anything like that, let's see, right? Let's see if that's gonna happen. So far, we still aiming to do the range, right? Because right now, right, what are we doing? Ranging. Could we open up a new week over here? Yes, we could. And go all the way up and then maybe retrace, goes below. If not, open up, retrace, right? That means that 100K coming back and then go up. All possible. All depends which way, which direction we're gonna pick next. Technically, this was a bullish candle. We didn't regain anything, right? But it was quite bullish. Weekly open or close. But yeah, look how we end up. Same thing over here, right? It's a little bit different candle next to it, but yeah. Gonna be interesting week, that's for sure. Daily, as I've been saying as well, daily regain, still technically 115. Are we gonna reach that today in 6 hours? Not sure about it. Maybe next week. That might be. So far, you don't want to close anything below 108, or failing that, then you start to go quite heavily into the lows of 100K. Why? Because every single thing been tested. That means this low been tested by this wick, and this low been tested by this wick, and then this wick that tested all this shenanigans, and then you have left only this small piece over here on the wick that we are holding. Right? It all depends on the exchange as well. Yes, I know some wicks went lower or higher, but still, what you're seeing in front of you is what you trade. So potentially, let's see if we're gonna range this or gonna keep this as potential low. That's all gonna be said if we start to regain anything above it. There is still resistance. Yes, this is area is resistance. Again, same as here, right? We are getting twice into the same resistance, and we are still didn't regain anything of that. Of course, this is still support. Till we start to break that, right? That's technically obvious, right? Hopefully. Right now we had the November open, as being mentioned that as well. It's not really like that volatile as in moves of the incoming volume. Let's see how that's going to be next week. Maybe it's because of the weekend. Who knows? Wondering how the end of the Sunday is going to be looking like. Because most of the times we have quite a lot of volatility coming in on the... Oh, fuck, I moved my line. Coming into the market on the Sunday. So let's see how that's going to be. It's going to be quite interesting, that's for sure, right? So that's the high time frame. And on 4 hour, like I've been mentioning, you seriously don't want to close anything below your previous daily, right? So that's going to be 110-ish area. You don't want to close that. Technically, if you open up a new candle, new 4 hour candle, you're going to reach this area, right? Something like this. Bearish retest and coming back into that, close it quite bearishly. You might find yourself quite heavily going to the low price action because every single thing been tested. We have quite a lot of big wicks to the left of us, same to the upside, but below us quite heavily. That said as well, there's a lot of buybacks happening. That's fine, but those buybacks didn't help you out and bring you all the way to the 114 or even higher up area. So as said, I'm still technically aiming for two things. If we start to break, no matter what we're gonna break, I'm aiming for two things. Let's zoom out a little bit, and that's gonna be the area of 100K, right? So this area I want to hold. Don't need to break, just to hold that. Come into that area. That means we're gonna invalid all of this shit, right? That means we're gonna create some candle bodies over here, and then that means we're gonna have another structure. That would be really one of the perfect scenarios, right? If not, if the price action is gonna start to regain the high of this, going back, holding the midpoint or even the support and starting to get into this area, then be aware this is quite heavy resistance, right? Not only we've been failing with quite a lot of billions from it, people got skipped or forgot about it. There is a lot of liquidity and as well resistance building up above it, right? Regaining that, yes, of course, we're going to have a continuation. I'm not sure that's going to happen for the fourth time, right? We've been doing that quite heavily 3 times in a row. I want to say heavily. It's been like a couple Ks difference in the highs only. So that's not really like amazing all-time high or whatever, but it is what it is. It's still all-time high, still close above it, right? So 2 scenarios on the high time frame. Those are that I'm still aiming for. I'm in the short, I'm still in the long, small ones from here, and I'm still long from this position over here. I want to be stopped out over here and then see if I'm gonna reload it, whatever. My 2 shorts from this one are playing out. So all good so far. And right now we are middling, right? If you think of this as a range, where are we? And to be honest with you, this is daily high. Need to regain. Still, you didn't regain with this high, so this is your high. Then this is your low. Very low, and already you have here your mid. And look how perfectly, how perfectly you're failing. Of not really failing, but trying to regain your mid swing. Don't worry about this white line. That's just an alert for me to know that we're starting to get higher up on Bitcoin. If I'm not going to be in front of the PC because I've been doing quite a lot of things today, but so far, yeah, we are still doing this. And if we start to fail, then right, that might be the continuation. Could be. Not saying it's going to happen. Still, we are finding the support over here. We're holding it. So far, this is the range that you are in. We should focus on a little bit more locally on the range in front of us, not really what's above it or even what people are thinking about this area. There's not really need to think about this because we are not there yet. If we're going to be there, then we should think what we're going to do then, right? Right now, where we are, we're here, right? Let's focus on this. What do we need to regain? As easy as it gets, 115 is you regain to go into the resistance of 120, right? If you fail 106, technically 108-ish or 106, one of those two, because like you see, twice already, 1 and 2, twice that level been tested. So this level, it's not gonna hold you. Maybe again, like on those kind of wick, we're gonna do something like this and then, right? Could be. Technically, that level shouldn't hold you, or you shouldn't have that much faith into it. Whereas you all faith right now, it's 108. So the support, technically the level that you can break, start to get quite close to your entries, right? To your position right now. So be aware of that. But failing 108, it's going to bring you into 106. You're going to see if you're going to hold that, yes or no. And then you have the technically the whole freaking move to the downside to 100K. Why? Because this not going to hold you. 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 You're going to find you over here, right? See it as a slide, right? This is a slide because there is nothing on the structure to the left of you. Like if you do it like that, and I would say to you like, okay, if we start to regain 108, where are we going to find ourselves? What's the next biggest resistance, right? This. you want to long it. Why? Because this is not going to hold you. All of it been tested if you look at it in that position. And then technically this high over here been tested as well, like y to the t. And then the next one is only literally the 108, 100.8, sorry, that could hold you. That's the highest body closed, or lowest, depends how you look at it, right? So coming into that area, that's the only level. And then we start to get into this M pattern over here, right, as a support. But that's, like I said, it's for another day, if we're going to reach that area. So far, this is the range that we are right now in. Those are the levels that are important. And this is what people should focus on without even thinking we're going to go into the fucking 130K, 140, 160, whatever people have been saying. It's not that we are here to predict the future, how high the Bitcoin is going to go. It's here to trade on the local price action. You don't trade the price action from here right now, right? You trade the local price action and then you see if you're going to have the continuation to it. And let's focus on that, right? This is it. This is all what we need. I've been saying that from this whole freaking dump that we're going to stay here for quite a while, right? We're not going to regain anything that quickly. Why? Not only you need to remember there is quite a lot wiped with this, right? And to regain anything from this whole movement, then fight your support or resistance, it's going to take some money, right? That means there need to be some money coming into the market and then out, right? And so far, it's been the first event that's quite a lot money went out of the market. And right now on the monthly, I've been mentioning, you see already cash flow, right? Reversal. You know, those reversals, they are potentially built on volume. What does that mean? If there is a continuation in the move, close lower and push price lower constantly in a row, that's when you're gonna have the reverse on the cash flow or potentially positive, right? Because right now what you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 still holding, right? The next one, bang on. It's just the continuation in volume coming in or out the market, right? Hope that's all. So same thing over here. What's going to happen if the next month is going to be closed quite steady? That means we can do whatever we want in through the whole month, right? We still can go here, going back, and then find ourselves over here. And imagine we're going to close the monthly over here, November. What does that going to mean? Hang on, right? Not only we are the lower close, we break stuff already. So be aware. Just be aware of that. So yeah. The same 4 hour. Like I'm focused a little bit more on the high time frame right now, just because there is not much on 4 hour to go by. Same what I've been trading from here. This point of view, people have been saying that I didn't long the support. No, because this wasn't the support from all of this move all the way over here. It's not the support. Support been significant set with this move that this is a support. This is not support when we only here in this area, because we still could do something like that. We didn't know. Now the price came all the here, all the volatility in the middle of it. Do not care about it. Why? Because it was a fucking perfect underside bearish retest. Come back, holding the low. Now that's your support. Don't let people say differently. And that's what I've been longing the shit out of it. So going back into the resistance, I mentioned that as well. People laughing about me. Daily resistance quite heavily. I don't want you to say anything more, right? Quite perfect. And to be honest with you, I don't like to brag, but I think I had, there it is. That was my, so yeah, still 4 hour. What I want to mention is as well, from this high that we technically created on the wick, but not on the body. So for me, it's still a failure, and it was a failure quite significant. You went all the way to 106, all of this. right? In the meanwhile, you broke this support and you broke this support. You're holding barely on this. That's already been tested, by the way. So right now, this could be dead cat bounce. And then we start to do something like this, right? If not, we need to see the strength coming in and then start to regain consistently all the way of this, going back, and then do the bigger move into the resistance, right? If that's happened, then yes, we might regain this resistance, in my opinion. Let's see how that's going to play out. That by any means clear and we'll understand it? I hope so. A little bit more the TA that I like to look at and even chart with. So on top of that, I still didn't switch on the indicators, some of them already. 4 hour, how do we look like? Quite shitty, right? Try to turn around. 1 hour start already having some. So yeah, 1 hour as well. Start to turn around. We had some buyback, but wasn't significant. Right now, we have still continuation. And look at that. If that candle still continue going lower, right? Where do we gonna find ourselves? Like, is this gonna hold us? Not really. Is there anything else that's gonna hold us to the left? This been tested. This been tested. This been tested. Right? Look, where is my cursor? All this been tested, tested. Okay, maybe 108. So, but that's 1 hour, right? And then we still could do potentially goes below, come back, inside retest. How does that look like? Quite often we see this kind of pattern, right? Let's see. Not that I want to predict something, you just like to prepare yourself, like, okay, this potentially can do something like that. Yeah, obviously. Right? So yeah, 1 hour still potentially can go lower. All depends how deep right now. Then is there any liquidity below us? Yeah, there is. Quite heavy even on this area. Reaching that area is gonna break definitely this, going back into the swing. Oops. So yeah, potentially there is some things to do. Algo Master, what do we show us? Oh, Aster, because CZ was tweeting about it that he bought with a private stash. Look at that. We get into the quite big resistance above us. And right now we are starting to fail on the first support block. So the second one is still below us. Yes, that still could hold us. And then how nice of it that's the below is quite on the same level as of the 106. That's one. And then below us something. So let's see how we're gonna keep that. So that's on 1 hour, 4-ish hour. Let's see how that's looking like. Right now we are middle into that block. Failing that, where do we get? Look at that. Again, into the band, into the block twice. Sorry, those are 2 blocks. And then you have your daily swing. Low of the swing. That you need to hold. Could be. Be nice. Right? And then what I wanna mention as well. Levels. Which levels are important right now? Because not all of them are anymore important. I know this is a little bit clouded, but be aware of it. Dailies, they are still valid, right? Till we start to break them. So any close and below that, that's going to be your daily failure. November is the new month. So yes, that's going to be potentially still valid till the daily candle going to close below, right? You're going to get below that level, coming lower, and then we're going to start to retest that level, right? So till that time, yes, that's level going to be quite important for you. So be aware of that one. In November, the rest of the levels, I don't care anymore, right? Viking is a little bit more heavy on them. The only one that sticks with me is still August level. Previous weekly, well, I'm going to mark that one as well. Previous weekly, because that's going to disappear. Previous weekly. Want to have that on the chart. August level still valid. Previous weekly is still valid. The Q4 and October, I don't care about that anymore at all because we've been quite heavily into that one. And November, previous weeklies, I don't care about it anymore. And the rest, so, till we're not gonna reach 96K, there is no more levels that I care about it. Okay, hope that's clear. Let me have a look on the chat. Oh yeah, what liquid levels are you showing on your chart? All right, filter out certain level. What do you mean, Orca? Which levels? On the indicator? Those ones? No, I don't sort them out. I have still all of them switched, except the 250, but there is no 215 crypto. So yeah, I didn't sort them out. You could. I like to have them all, just in case, because like yeah, you could say like I want only like for example Stu is doing and Smyrn, like I want only to show the only the 150 exit, right? Yeah, you could go by those ones only. But the thing is as well, like I would like to know what's happening here in between or what's happening here above, right? Is there something potential? Because yeah, we could do like into that and then bounce, but potentially we could go even higher up and then do that, right? It's not always like, yeah, we hit 100x and we turn around. Most of the cases, yes, it's like that. But I like to see what's going on and where the low liquidity as well. Used to go like the max pain if there is any potential for it, right? Because right now this whole market is kind of built on the max pain territory. We're gonna go a little bit more higher than the 150x, so like over here. So I like to see them as well because right now I see the clear and bigger picture. Like, oh yeah, okay. Not only we are right now in the whole range of 20k 50 and 100 x's, but then there is much more thicker liquidity on low time frame. So if you stack all of those ones together, that's already in millions as well, right? Same thing over here. So over time, that starts to get much more appealing as well for the max pain because those area are the max pain area. Why? Because you clear out the whole books of liquidity, right? If you get into that pocket, there is rarely something left. So I like to see when there's potential even to go higher up, right, on liquidity. So no, I don't filter them. You can change the colors or whatever, but I don't filter them. No, I just switch them on and keep them as it is. Speaking of liquidity, what I want to mention as well, the one and bigger move on 12 hours as well, but on 4 hour that I want to mention is that we are trading below the core trend of liquidity. And we just grab that. We still could do the continuation, right? And the like this. We all see that, right? We are trading below the whole core trend of liquidity. So that means still potential to go lower. That's how I use the bands, right? And looking on the high time frame, look at that, 12 hours. What do? We come all the way from the resistance, all the way over here. Where do we get? Into the core. And now we are still pacing to go a little bit higher, a little bit maybe into the resistance and then continuation. Still, we're not going to flip that. That's as well a way of seeing any kind of potential continuation in the direction that we are aiming to go right now. Same thing over here, daily. Look at that. Where did the wick go? Inside the core. That's the maximum 150 x's that you take out right now. So doing that could potentially aim for the continuation. Regaining that and then aiming for the resistance, you start to flip that. Right now, technically, if you look at this, potentially we've been aiming above the line, right? And now this move, where's the line? Start to go below that line, right? Hope this is clear to see further, right? That's why I like those bands much more often than the levels. They see and they give you the potential direction where do you trade into. Same thing, weekly, right? That's weekly time frame. Right now we've been trading above that level, the whole core trend, right? The core of the old liquidity. And look at that. The high time frame bars or HFTs, they're not right? Yeah, HFT. They start to get thicker on the to the downside, right? So already you can see as well on the chart how the chart behaves. So not only we are not trading above that line, but we're getting into that line and we start to close below, right? What's going to happen? We're going to go lower, start to flip. What do we start to flip? That means the line going like that and the chart going like that. What's happened last time we had that, right? We could do something like this, regain, do one more, and then start to fail apart. Apparently, we are kind of, right? And then dip of the bull market. Perfect. Holding, holding, holding. And then going into it. This was a little bit struggle. Regain that. Same thing. Regain and holding. Could do something like that. Like 4 days. But yeah, that's on the highest time frame. So that's not going to happen in 1 or 2 days. That's going to take over time, weeks and months. Right? So, but still, it gives you quite accurate way of saying like, are we having a continuation? Yeah, you could. Still, we're not gonna regain this whole band. That means this is the average on all of the 150 axes. The core liquidity. What's core? That's the most biggest and condensed liquidity that's there is. Right? Gaining that, yeah, you regain, you grab the liquidity, you regain it, you're gonna go higher. Failing that means that liquidity is too thick, too heavy to be regained, then you have a continuation. But so hoping to filter out some noise. But yeah, you could. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, bro, don't copy me only, right? Do your own thing. Like, I like to see all of them. If you don't like, I will switch off the low ones, right? So that's gonna be the 2 and 3 X's, maybe 5, and then keep the 10, 20, and 50 and 100, the most significant, right? Or even keep the 20, 50, and 100. I think Stu is not Stu. The Smyrn is doing that. That this is their his high time frame ones, right? Or maybe he keeps only 150x. I don't remember. But yeah, you can play around with it. Like this is to you guys. It's not to copy me. What I'm doing exactly. Do you what suits you and what you like to see and what kind of information you like to pull, right? This is the way how this is built. I love to see all of them because I like to see what's the max pain, and max pain shows me on those liquidities, right? 69, then that's gonna be bear market stuff, but whatever. But overall, I like to see all of them, right? You don't need to like, for example, like my algo master settings are the fucking most boring ones. The bands and the blocks only. Oh, and look at that. How perfectly it fits on the high time frame. Look at that. Highest time frame. Those are the most boring ones. But there is so much even. I don't need them because I've been through all of those indicators since 8 years already. So I kind of technically know every single option and how it builds and why it's built and how can you use it, right? And I don't need any more like regular divergence on it because I can spot them like my bare eyes. But those are for people who like to have them just for the confirmation if they are right or not. So by all means, like AI charting tool as well. Much more to it than like I'm using. Like if somebody likes the opens and close of the market sessions, then there it is. Pivot points, like I saying too. Smyrn is heavy on pivot points. They are quite accurate as well. I like them as well. I used to trade them as well back in the days. together with him, right? You can use them as well on AI charting tool. There's much more to it. I like the simplicity of it, and I don't need all of that info once. If I want to see something, I will get to it. But that's why I say, like, guys, go through the indicators and play around with them. Where do you set the bands? The bands in indicators? Which bands do you mean, Firewoods? Those ones? Those ones? This is the band. That's the Algo Master, or and this one, colorful. Which one do you mean? But yeah, so far, yellow one. So that's the that's the this and this one. That's the liquidation indicator, right? Liquidation MDS liquidation. So that's with the lines, and then you have here on the top, the first top drop down menu is the liquidation data. What kind of data do you want? Do you want levels? That means lines, those ones. And if not, you can switch into the bands. That means it's gonna pull all of that levels, liquidations levels. We're gonna pull average level on that one and make it as a band. So that we call it a core band, liquidation band in our term on MDX. So you can change that into levels or bands. Depends what you like and watch. I like so the way how I'm using the bands is high time frame. Daily, 12 hours, weekly, monthly, whatever, right? I'm using the bands to see where potential we can go. On a 4 hour, 1 hour-ish, I'm using the levels because that's changed quite significant a lot. So that band's gonna be quite stick to the price action. So yeah, that's how I'm using. Um, what's not clear is why Aster pumped. That's because of CZ. Like guys, imagine that you are the owner of a company who have his own token, and by all means, don't get me wrong. He said he's going to buy it with his own money. Wow, yes, he's buying with his own money, but don't forget he's holding 90% of those fucking tokens company wise. That's he didn't mean. He didn't say, right? So yeah, it's because he fucking tweet about it. Like, how many times did you hear him tweet about a token? I think it was once about Bitcoin and once about BNB when it rolled out or whatever. So yeah, of course, this is Binance token. Like this is Binance token. Don't get me wrong. This is CZ's token. Yeah, he's gonna tweet about it, right? And yeah, people gonna jump the boat. Like the time that the fucking owner tweets something about a token, that's always significant at the bottom. And he said like, yeah, apparently it didn't took all of my orders because he had the iceberg, right? So that's is the iceberg. It, don't get me wrong. Like I hope everyone understand that ring in, right? So, oh yeah, he didn't get all of it, like fucking 2 million of the worth of tokens. Didn't split all of it. Like, bro, yes, he wants this to become a new or a second BNB, right? To use it on different projects or chains and whatever. Same way, it's gonna become same algorithmic. I don't want to say manipulated, but algorithmic worked on token and keep alive as BNB because don't get me wrong, and no one like you can fucking beat me to death with it, but this token is not natural formed. This is not a natural form of volume, liquidity, and structure at all. It doesn't respect any kind of levels. So yeah, it holds something or it fails something. There is resistance, whatever, but still, it's been pushed quite algorithmic, right? And they knew they say that this is possible switch because BNB before use case was this. Well, look how perfectly it played out, right? We got perfectly played out before it went into the Binance fucking treasuries and fundamentals, whatever, into the holdings and splittings, whatever they did with it. Like they did so many things on BNB, and technically the whole Binance exists because of BNB right now. Like those are the funds what they pay everything. They need to keep it alive. How are they gonna do it? Reuse the tokens. Same thing as Hype is kind of reused, but that's a little bit different positioning. But yeah, Astral is gonna become new BNB in far future, whatever it's planning for. If that's gonna be surviving, whatever. So far, yeah, he's gonna push it. Like, bro, like it get into the fucking almost list price. Like, yeah, he's gonna buy something. That's not stupid of him. And yeah, there is it because he posted. So yeah, if you see CZ post anything about a token, I mean that same thing what Elon Musk posted about the Doge back in the days. How much impact that had, right? But yeah, it's still on. Okay, so the thing is, 4 hour, yeah, you regain your previous high. That's the first regain. Technically, a whole breakout if you want to do that, right? The first breakout. So it's gonna be funny if this whole thing freaking gonna do something like this and then start to reverse. But daily wise, let's see if we're gonna close anything above that. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, he pushed it. He put a low on it. So the floor is in. If he is already in, that's technically a bit obvious, right? Oh yeah. Mm, overall, like overall, same thing over here, right? Hype was quite heavily hold on resistance, and they drop it, right? Because Bitcoin is dropping right now, or technically they thought about it. And don't get me wrong, I've been saying that as well, like for many months we've been trading with Zeus. This already a whole wave. Like they know exactly what they're doing with hype, exactly. Because who's in clear mind is gonna hold the token like that at the resistance just for the market to settle down, and then they see the Bitcoin's gonna drop? They say like, okay, so fine, drop this, and we're gonna settle any support over here. So what does that mean, right? Those market makers from hype are quite clever. I seriously like them, and I know that the owner of hype or hyperliquid, he used to be market maker, and he used to train or like study it. So this fucker knows exactly what he's doing and how he's doing. It costs a lot of money, don't get me wrong, to hold this price on this positioning that high and that significant. That's costing fucking millions. But hey, they earn the money from it, and yeah, they can do that. That's hype is the most easiest one to trade for me right now. It becomes like brainless trading on, and it respect quite levels as well. Like we've been holding the low of that 4 hour, and we get into the mid. Nope, drop it. Where do we drop it? Into the fucking daily high. Right now, fail that. Okay, where's the next support? There it is. Right, this is your next support area. So yeah, perfect. First same thing. Right, they've been holding it quite steady over here. Going back, oh, fine. You're not gonna lose your floor. Technically, was that the lowest what you want to go? Because then you start to get, start to get into this area over here. Quickly swings, but I'm not sure we're gonna get there. Yeah. And then of course we have this AVX and injective. Like this is quite a slip into the deep. Same thing on injective. Lost high, lost the low, came back into the 17. Let's see if we're gonna have a continuation. So far, oscillator wise, yeah, looks like injecting, same thing. And to be honest with you, I like this. I like this more than the fucking dump. Hold the price with the significant fair value gap in between. Why? Because this already not only, and eventually, if I don't want to say you guys, you are not experienced or whatever, but if you get like quite longer into the game and looking at the structure wise, you're gonna significant as well. You can tell how token is strong by moving to the downside, doing this. I don't need to have a token that's gonna give me this. Oh yeah, that's a strong token. Yeah, fucking obviously that's a strong token because it regained previous high, hold the low right now, and you have a continuation. Yeah, it's a strong token. But for me, this movement, significant movement like that, is already as well saying or as well showing you strength into the token of holding it, right? They don't need to drop the token 10% to the downside and hopefully gonna keep it like that or whatever. No, they can range to the downside, form the lows after and after and after, over and over, and then start to regain. Because what's gonna happen as well is by doing that, they're building shitloads of liquidity over here for it to grab. And that's gonna be the bounce. You might regain all of this in any game, right? So already doing that, that shows as well the strength. So not only a regain of the high, but still like consistent moving lower, that's fine, but consistency in holding the structure. That's as well, and on top of everything, a good sign of a token that gives you strength. And same thing, AVAX, right? Same thing over and over. What did Eve do? Set on a new low. Didn't regain his prior. Oh shit, that's nasty. Ooh, that's a nasty underside read. Now, for Eve, we need this. We need this right now for it to give you any kind of potential for going higher. And this as well, right? Like, look at Eve. Like this. Okay, we talking about Eve, the second biggest token, right? Consistent, even failing new lows, but still consistency giving you everything, right? Solana even better. That's still holding a prior low that you settled over here. There's not even one token that's doing that on that whole dump, holding on it. Like, bro, this one, oh, I just need to rethink the trading of it. Like, feeling that's gonna do maybe last time for the cycle, but still, right? And the rest is doing same thing over and over. This is still continuing like fucking hell. This trade like been massively. What we do from this low already? 5%. Bang on. Still even alive. How is Trump doing? Let me shorting it with fast 2. Okay. First regain after the, oh, look at that. Look at that. I bet you that's the underside retest. Yep. Maybe he's failing it. I hope this fucking die. Nice. So yeah, guys. Anything else you have for me to look at? Didn't, bro. After that whole dump, I didn't even bother to look at different. Hang on. Going this. At that. 90. Oh no. And wild. I'm staying away. Spot. I'm actually. Yeah, I mean, this is the best, or still is the best place to buy spot for as the right, or it's gonna go lower. Spot wise, like, yeah, fucking buy that shit and keep it. But trading, like, I don't bother to do that at all. I have way too many trades. I'm focusing on my own top tokens performing. So I don't bother to expand to the shitties anymore. And from next year or next cycle, it's gonna be a little bit different as well for me. I have already a sort of a plan what I'm gonna follow from next year. Dominance. You mean Bitcoin dominance? I've been talking about that in beginning, but yeah, already 4 hour. Look at that. We close above the whole previous structure. So technically, this is 4 hour continuation on it. Right? We still doing this. Didn't break anything. Didn't fail anything. Still holding. So let's move on daily. Yep. Still facing go higher. Right? We regain this. Regain that. So closing now below this level, 59, we might potentially go for the low. Right now, you don't want to lose this, so we start moving higher. There it is. This is the highest swing failure, and right now we are getting into that. So potentially, let's say, right, where do we get? Into the resistance, right? So let's see if we're gonna fail from that area. But yeah, it is still higher. Unfortunately, you don't want that. Why? This. You never want dominance to go higher. This is no go. You want this. Why? Because then Bitcoin can do one of the two things, sideways or higher, and then the alts going ballistic. This you alt season. This and only this. There is nothing else. Dominance. Right? So where are we right now? Fortunately, technically in between those two. Something like this, right? Yeah. So guys, not sure if you having this, but this should be on every single people dominance chart. You look at dominance. Oh my god, I didn't copy it. So please, by all means, use it and look at it as well. This gives you the potential way how dominance works. And this is the only way how dominance works. And what the rest of it correlate it to it gonna do it. Right? So because right now, like, yeah, what do? Yeah, we go higher. That's dominance only. Right? Potentially, yeah, people are buying it up. But is there anything to hold on that one? Yeah. Let's see if we're gonna regain. The scary thing is gonna be gonna be some over here because this been tested. So the next potential level that's gonna rebounce us back is this. So another 8%. Fun. Such a fun. So yeah, dominance. Then what's that for project? Perfect on retest. One of the kind. Oh, what you gonna do next? I bet it's gonna go over here. Right, failed, and then the whole thing collapsed. Went way below the lows. Yeah. So this was low. Got the liquidity. Yeah, potentially this the area to something like this. Going back, hold this hopefully, and then you have a continue into the bigger stuff. Not much right now. Look at that. Let's say without even looking at it. Look, bang on. Where do you retrace from? Inside retest. Why? Because that's the resistance that you're first facing into it. Perfect. Bang. Oh, love it. Love it. Next one. Where was the first one? Look at that candle. What happened over here? You get first into the on the side retest. Bang on. Second time. Same. That was quite strong. And now you regain that. So believe me. You're gonna do those ones. Mark them on the side retest it. That's always takes profit. Always. That's always gonna be to the T. Look at that. So next one. After that. Okay, that's it. Perfect. I love those charts. They always do that. They always fucking do that. Get you first biggest failure. Surprise, surprise. Like you get like do is right. And with that, always look fucking strong when they reach resistance. Always. And look at that. The failures are perfect. They didn't even reach it. Nice. Hang on. Take it as it is. But yeah, that's it. I don't know what's this whole freaking project is about it. I think I need to bounce out. Everything. I was just gonna ask about Zen. But what is it, Zen? I seriously don't recall this token. So right now, like yeah, continuation. So whatever you want to see right now is coming into this. Not to fail. I mean, yeah, you can fail this, but then holding on that. But that's gonna be really, really, really freaking scammy because all of this week you test all of the to the low, so you don't want to lose it right now. And yeah, technically, and if you want it, like this is your stupid fib right now. On the flip side, see ya, mate. Have a good one. Oh, yeah, can somebody tell me what's this token about? Like, is there a like use case or whatever to wait for it 942 days for one pump, or is this like next XRP or whatever? I have no clue. I don't know. I don't like tokens doing this kind of fucking price action for like more than 2 years. Hey, I'm running with active. Oh, okay. Another one. Yeah, fun. So same as this, right? You wait for it. 1,191 days. Patient, right? Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And for this as well, if people are trading this, I took small short. I want this to fucking die. I don't like this kind of tokens. But hey, it's still continuation higher, right? Regain, high, hold. Quite okay retest of the technically this. This is the prior high. But yeah, so you came into that, holding that level, you still aiming to go higher up. Failing that, you go into the 310, and that's the level that you don't want to fail, right? Over here. This you don't want to fail, because then you start to go into this area lower, and you start to break the high time. Why? Because that's as well below, technically already been tested. Weird ass movement. But yeah, coming back into this area, close the daily around the 325-ish area, you break the structure. Yeah, that's going to be the first daily structure break. Here, you didn't there. Early, now you hold that quite, quite significant hold. Here, you start to break it. You're going to catch it. Oh, yeah, so far, so good. Let's see if we're going to see some price action today, end of the day. time. What's left? Could be interesting. Or anything else people like to? Yeah. Like and subscribe. Mm, 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 mm. You can watch my videos. They're gonna be always uploaded a little bit quicker onto the YouTube because the program that we use for MDX is slower. What? ESLL? You guys having some really interesting token. Direction daily available 2 times shares. Tesla shares, right? Is that it? For hour. Boy. Holy fuck. Not sure if you want to try this on 4 hour, but far enough. Tesla twice, yeah. Yeah, I heard about it, but I never bothered to play that. Right. Yeah, say 4 hour, but I still want to go. So over here, this is your resistance already. You said that you high time frame support, you holding it, that's fine. Support, regain that. So technically right now, want to hold on that one. Come back, value gap, still into it. Yeah. Weekly, same thing. Now it's gonna get juicier because you did the underside retest already. Regain that. Aim for 30 daily wise. Yeah, same pattern. And the next resistance is gonna be here. So right now, zooming in locally. So this is you 4 hour. What do we need to do? We need to regain this. That's a whole 4 hour high swing. We need to hold on this, what we technically already been retesting on the lows. So that's your low. And we are holding on the midpoint, right? Awesome. So right now, you need to regain your high to go over here, come back, hold that, significant as well, and then you might flip that resistance, right? If you hold this like that, if you don't break anything. If you start to break anything, that starts to get a little bit more iffy, because then not only because this low been tested already, so you need to move your low to this one, and that's the last low. If you start to break this, you're gonna get back into this area, 15 for the high of this swing. It's a bit iffy because I seriously don't like this kind of gappy price action. This can jump up and down however it wants, right? Because it's gonna open up in 14 hours. Fucking hell, yeah. But yeah, this is technically what you aim for. As perfect as you want to get it, you need this to grind it out of the resistance, and then regain that resistance by doing this or going higher up into the 30. But of course, when you reach that point, like this is going to be quite extreme and overhealed it. So you're going to do one more move, maybe to the downside, hold the lows, and then do the bigger move. Right? Something like this. Been doing the resistance, holding, going higher. That's tricky. Always. And watch it. See how the next day is going to open up. You want to open up higher, right? And technically you did it. What? 0.08. Is there anything? How much is it? 20 days. Look, so that could be quite perfect if you're gonna get that. That grindy stuff, right? 90 days. get the dividend from it, and then it's gonna fire up. Right? That's what you want technically right now. But yeah, it's gonna be a wait. Like already, like that 40 a month too, maybe. Yeah, month-ish. Potentially wait for it. Oh yeah, this is what you want us seriously for any price action to go higher, because you don't want to lose it, right? But this was weird. Like why didn't have like why did it did twice? December, December. Oh, it's because of December Christmas as a present or whatever, right? I don't know why they did it, but that's killing, right? So watch it. December is coming as well, right? If you get that, like quite perfect as well over here. December 24th. Look at that. Thank Jesus. Doing that even without knowing about that. So yeah, potentially you could have that one wipe here and then a buyback lower. Let's see. That's gonna be interesting. Keep me updated. I quite want to see what's gonna happen in December. Yeah, you reach the resistance at it or on the side retest. It'll be quite fun, right? So yeah, but still gonna grind it out. You're not gonna lose anything, and you're still regaining. The significant is 23, 23.4. That's your high that you need to regain. If not, you're gonna keep that as a range over here and grind it to the sideways, and then pop it maybe into the December for the yeah the last of this year. But that's not gonna be 90 days. That wasn't 90. Oh, yeah. Never mind. But I'm something. This is what it is. So, see, that's gonna be playing out. And you stocks. Are you heavy on the stocks, Juice? Betting only stocks. Plenty. War is going good. So right now you make money from Red5. War is going doing good. So invest in war tokens. Why not, right? If they make money from war, why would we? But yeah, good. That's the best. That's that's the best. Doing same. Oh well. How that does go. So yeah. How is this doing, by the way? Is this still alive? Mm, I don't want to put anything else into it anymore. I'm done with it. Still can go lower. Is it even possible? It is. Cookies. Yeah, let's see how this is gonna open up. I bet that's gonna open up fucking above my level, but then I'm gonna close it manually. If not, I want to go fucking lower because it broke the structure before rising up Friday. So let's see. And oh, they do the split. Want this off. We can all go back to piracy. Still doing it. Apple. Yeah. I did try it. Oh, that's gonna be glorified. Dump. Oh, oh, that was juicy, by the way. I don't know if you guys realize that. Meta had a small oopsie. I often Tesla is still freaking holding this ass. Nvidia couldn't. So they start to getting into price if that's weird that they still up with. I hate Intel. Mm. Yeah, we start to cross. Watch if second candle might be that's gonna be no, that's not gonna be daily close. Second candle is gonna be lower than this high. We might see cash flow reverse. Yep. Yep. Still, there is quite. It is holding us right now. That's cool. Literally working around the 1 hour point of control. So yeah, not much coming in yet, but that can change today. And people start coming back into the market. Market smashing everything. That's quite all. How do you guys like my new? Not good. Anyhow, if you're gonna be watching my videos from today on the YouTube, you're gonna see my new thumbnail. Let's see if I like it. I was fucking around a little bit with some Photoshop and some AI. Let's see. What's coming? Want to change apps or something fresh? Yeah, I think that's gonna be quite lazy and easy Sunday so far. Not much happening. It's stable. Some tokens are going quite lower. I mean, it is going higher, but there's overall sentiment is still lower. If we start to it fail the structure, fortune, pressure. uh, I have a new background. Me with my girlfriend. If you guys gonna be nice, learning something, maybe from me, I'm gonna show you. Or I think yeah, that's all for today. Not much happening. Quite boring. Overall, so overall pressure is to the downside. Structure wise, we still holding. So technically, we squeezing get out of it, right? Oh, I didn't mention as well long and short. What about it? Yeah, so we're squeezing, right? We had that quite spike into the longs. So even both sides are quite right now neutral, you can say. Just looking at the 65 and you've been 72. So if this still start to increase on Monday, so we still gonna have the continuation higher up into the 70%, then we gonna see that flush to the downside. If not, we might settle it down and keep grinding to the side or start to regain the high, right? If the shorts are gonna come in. So yeah, gonna be interesting, that's for sure. Oh yeah, we're squeezing. We're squeezing. All right, good people. I will need to bounce because I have a student in a sec. So that's all. Yeah, keep an eye on YouTube because the video is gonna be there and you can watch it quite in the higher speed, so faster than on the algo on the MDX algo. And yeah, let's see how the new week's gonna come in. Be aware there's gonna be quite a lot of volatility through the week, through the economics data, and as well November, a little bit more on the pressure price month, just because before the December, and be aware as well, we're gonna mention that as well through the weeks of November. December is a quite a sell-off month as well. People are taking profit, presents, whatever, Christmas, you know how that goes. So it's a quite a lot of taking profit month. So we could see some potential downside on it, or maybe who knows, we're gonna flip it and gonna blast through the charts. Who knows, right? But so far, be aware, prepare yourself, choose, as we know how previous market been and years, we kind of speculate that that might be the case. If not, we're gonna see some turning around in before that. But yeah, so far, have a good one. Keep it on the flip side, and hopefully you get comfortable as well. Sooner or later, if not, let me know or ask to help you out with it. Yeah, have a good one. Bye.